Who do you think is the most likely to show dong this combine, like Chris Jones?
Jesus.
I'm locking in Caleb Banks.
I'm not going to name anybody.
No, I'm not answering this. Move on. You sicko. That was
That's insane. Where would you guys rank LB1 from last year, Jihad Campbell, in this year's dense linebacker class? I believe I had Jihad Campbell's grade very similar to Sonny Styles' grade. The difference is just I
can't stop laughing at it. The chat. Porkington said the dong emphasis to show dong. Man.
When was the last time the Raiders had this much reason for optimism with Kubiak coming in? Also, in defense of all the super chat typos, the keyboard when you type these super chats messages is horribly buggy. Interesting. I've never done a super chat before.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I guess because there's so much going on in the chat.
I suck at typing, so you're not gonna get crap from me. We appreciate you, Charter. Thank you for the super chat.
We don't make fun of the
Also, when's the last time the Raiders have had this much optimism? Sometime in the Derek Carr era, right?
Yeah, they had some better rosters then. I guess the last time they had this much optimism was when Gruden came back.
Oh yeah, probably, right?
Like the hype. It was. I remember his return was debuted with a primetime game, and like the energy was pretty wild.
Yeah, that's
like just seeing him on the sideline again after being in the booth for so long.
Right. Now it's a good call. It's a very good call there.
Parkour. Thank you for the $5 super chat.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is cooking? What is cooking, Pounder McFlounder and Trevor? If my hands aren't washed, I'll get Sikkema. Who's the most disappointing prospect you've ever evaluated? Ooh,
ever?
I take that question on like the hype versus what you actually saw on tape. That's a deep dive of a question. Who have I been low on that had a lot of hype? I mean, this year for me, I hate to just keep saying it, but it always comes back to Caden Proctor. Like
He's been the most disappointing?
No. This year, like what I thought I was going to watch was a top 5 pick at tackle over summer, and I didn't see anything close to that. And I didn't see anything this year that got my hopes closer to that. But he's not the answer to the question. Most disappointing prospect I've ever evaluated. It's not close. It's not Caden Proctor.
I'm looking at the consensus board. I'm just going through mockdraftdatabase.com. Like guys that I was disappointed in,
like historically lower on.
Yeah. Tyree Wilson is
that's right up there for you for sure.
Stands out for me.
I didn't see it at all with Emmanuel Forbes. It's not just me. Like in hindsight, I'm sure I had plenty I was disappointed in that ended up being better players. I didn't have them anywhere near the first round. I don't know what happened there.
I think that's a good one as well.
And everybody was like, well, he's got ball skills and takes away the football. And if you've watched it, it was a lot of like tip passes and he did jump on a screen, but that was one where I was like, this guy's going in the first round. So that's up there.
I do think that one is up there. Isaiah Wilson was obviously a draft bust, but like I remember not really seeing it with Isaiah Wilson. No, I remember I liked Jerry Tillery. Actually, I'm just looking at these names now. Man, what a good question. Yeah, I think mine's probably Tyree Wilson is probably the best guess that I have there of the players I've been most disappointed in. Love and Life, $5 super chat. Considering the Buckeyes could have 4 picks in the top 10, including Reese and Styles, are they the most disappointing team in a while?
I thought they should have won the Natty. Thought they should have won the Big Ten.
I guess. Yeah.
Most disappointing team in a while. They were still a good team, though.
I was going to say, like, it's hard for me to admit that because, like, they were still really good. They just lost to Indiana.
When I think disappointing team, I think, like, team that just stunk and was supposed to be good.
Right. I think about Florida.
There you go. How about LSU this year at Penn State?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that they were the most disappointing team. I just think that they weren't the best. I just think that Indiana was better. Yeah.
Zach, thank you for the $20 super chat. G'day, blokes. Huge Aussie addict here. Appreciative of the late upload time. Can finally catch a live at work on a Wednesday. Time traveler over here. Bear down. Is there a linebacker you like scheme-wise? Edwards is injured. Edmonds is expensive. Looking to draft. CJ Allen.
Yeah.
That would be. It's not like crazy.
I think CJ Allen would obviously be great for them because we like him. Again, I think Golday would be good for them.
Yep.
I know. Is he actually who we talked about with? Who did we talk about with? No, we talked about Anthony Hill Jr. with Tremaine Edmonds.
Yeah. Imagine that.
I mean, if you're looking for a later linebacker, Bryce Betcher, Owen Heineke, maybe if you're drafting those guys in the early day 3 part of the draft. But I would say CJ Allen, Jake Golday, and then maybe one of those two guys somewhere on day 3. Daniel $5 super chat says every person has to have a good cup. Adrian Beltre, probably. I don't get the reference.
I think he got hit in the testicles.
Hit in the nuts?
Yeah. So that would be it. Not wearing a cup. Scary in baseball to get hit in the nuts. Oof.
Scary in baseball to get hit at all.
It's getting hit by a baseball. Not fun. The idea of just having a guy pitch nearly 100 miles an hour at you and you just boom, straight. Like, even if it's on the tricep. No, can't do it. There was nothing worse out of youth sports than you're getting ready to play baseball, and the kid on the mound is the hardest throwing kid in your little league or whatever, travel team, whatever, but just has no idea where the ball is going.
Yeah, can't aim for shit.
And you're like, cool, so I'm basically guessing. But there's also a good chance that I just get drilled.
Right.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Dude, and that's every reliever in baseball now.
I was terrified of the pitching machine, so I didn't play baseball very long. I was like, nah, I don't trust.
I don't trust this thing,
brother. I don't trust AI now. I didn't trust pitching machines back then. I didn't trust calculators when I was in math class. I don't trust any of this.
Oh man,
that's why Tyler's doing all of this by hand. There's no technology to put on the show.
Landon, thank you for the $5. If you're a coach in the NFL, what are you guys doing with undersized linebackers like Pitts, Kyle Lewis, and Texas A&M's Torian York? Hopefully you got that answer today.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about their size deficiencies.
Yeah. Nickel defender for Kyle Lewis, yep. and Torian York will probably be a backup linebacker, but maybe he could work into a starting role at some point just because of the football IQ. Dante, $5 super chat. When I see these two, cue the Shannon Sharp meme of drinking Mountain Dew.
That's awesome.
I appreciate the reference. Thank you, Dante. Thank you for the $5.
Joe Olivo, thank you.
This one's offensive.
Hey, Binky Rogers and Bilbo Sikkema, who are the best round 2 linebacker options for Glenn's defense? Yeah, he owned us.
Yeah, that was tough.
I mean, there's a world where CJ Allen's there at 33. I think that Josiah Trotter comes into play because they just they lack any kind of physicality in their linebacker room. It's crazy. That's the earlier side. The question's about round 2. And Jake Golday, a little different, but
he's different. Yeah.
Different. I don't really love Anthony Hill for them.
No, I think at that point you're getting into Rodriguez, right?
You're getting into Rodriguez more. The Jets don't have a 3rd-round pick, so that'll be kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would say that you're praying for CJ Allen and then at that point.
Yep. CJ Allen at 33 is the dream.
Rufy and $5 super chat. What's up, little shaker cups? Which players have the most to show at the underwear Olympics, the NFL Combine? I think that Jacob Rodriguez, Kyle Lewis, Jake Golday.
I'll tell you a guy
honestly,
that
Aiden Fisher too.
I was going to say Aiden Fisher. Everybody's wondering about his foot speed. Deontay Lawson needs to run decent.
Yeah.
His spring weight was 218. He's bigger than that now. He's definitely like
his spring weight was 218.
That's what I had, but he doesn't look that way. So that's a weird one.
Whoa.
There's no way he's obviously 218.
Wow, that would be small.
I think he legitimately weighs like 228.
I was going to say, I think he's like 230. He looks 230.
He's filled out. That's just a weird number.
Yeah.
But he's not the biggest guy. I just didn't think he was that fast, Trevor.
No, I agree with you. That's
and it's like, hard. It's hard to be like 230 and maxed out and not fast.
If I could have believed in his straight line speed a little bit more, he probably makes my top 8.
And he misses a lot of tackles.
There were too many times where I was like, dude, you just got beat to the sideline, or like you got beat to the pursuit angle. Like that's not good. We can't be having that. Yeah.
Axel Ron, is it just me or has it been a while since we've had a deep linebacker class like this? Feels nice to see. Yeah. That's how we started the show. We think this is one of the best ones in a long time.
Alex, $20 super chat. Thank you, Alex. We appreciate the $20. Any specific outside the top 5s that have high odds to be top 3 based on team fit? Okay, I think that's a very good question. Also, got to know what colors you match with the 4 core subjects: English, math, science, and history.
Oh. I could do this kind of fast.
Okay.
Because I'm just going to go by whatever my brain signals to me. I'm not going to think about it. Yellow for English, red for math, green for science, blue for history.
I would be green for science, blue for history, red for math, and then probably black for English.
Okay.
Interesting, though. What an interesting question.
Yeah, that's a real psychology.
We were the same on math, science, and history.
Yep.
Red, green, and blue. And then what did you say for English?
Yellow.
Oh, I want black for English. Yeah, okay. Anyways, guys who could be good team fits who could rise into the top 3. Kyle Lewis, obviously, the way that I talked about him, if he goes to somebody who knows how to use him as a nickel defender, I think that he could be one of the most impactful linebackers in this class, whatever you want to call him.
Golday. Golday can go over C.J. Allen because of his skill set.
Yeah, I think so, too.
That would be the answer to me.
Wisco, $5 super chat. Thoughts on Lander Barton? I like him for an inside linebacker to occupy the middle of the field with that long 6'5" frame. I didn't do his full eval yet. I'm going to get to him and a couple of other of the Shrine Bowl guys after this episode, but I kind of saw him similarly that you just explained there, sort of just this classic inside linebacker type of a player.
Yeah, I've watched him twice now for summer scouting and he had big grades from teams in spring, and I didn't see it that way.
I agree.
I was always surprised by that. But we'll get more into him on final linebacker rankings. We'll go 20 or more.
Right.
Noah Katuria Nelson, thank you for the $10 super chat. Sup, Crustable Pounders. Who do you think is the most likely to show dong this combine, like Chris Jones?
Jesus
I'm locking in Caleb Banks. I've had 2 really bad Ron Burgundy moments today. This is obviously the second one. Earlier, I was doing a transition to a commercial during Fantasy Football Happy Hour, and it's not anyone's fault. The copy just was yesterday's. So I was like teasing a segment that we already did, and I literally just said I Ron Burgundy'd it. Then I did that again. I'll read what's there. If it's in there, I'll read it. Caleb Banks, that's his pick.
That's a good pick. It's good.
That's a good pick. He's up there on the odds board.
Good pick. Oh, I'm not going to name anybody.
No, I'm not
naming
answering
anybody.
this. Move on. You sicko. That was.
Oh, it's insane.
That is really insane.
I mean, look, I mocked Caleb Banks to the Chiefs. I'm just saying. Samuel, $5 super chat. Where would you guys rank LB1 from last year, Jihad Campbell, in this year's dense linebacker class? Very good question. I like this question. I believe I had Jihad Campbell's grade very similar to Sonny Styles' grade. The difference is just I can't.
I want to go. I want to stop the show. I can't stop laughing at it. The chat. All right, I'll pull myself together.
This is the dumbest show alive.
Borg Borkington said the dong emphasis. Oh, man. I don't know how we got here.
We got here because you read the chat.
The chef put it in prompter. I trust him.
I think Jihad Campbell would be right there with Sonny Styles. I think they're a little bit different because Jihad Campbell, even though he had the long arms and people were like, oh, on ball, off ball linebacker, he could rush from the edge a little bit. I thought Jihad Campbell was excellent in drop back coverages, like true zone drop back coverages when he was at Alabama, and I think he is still that way with the Philadelphia Eagles. Styles, I think, is actually a better attacking linebacker. So I think both of them are very equally athletically gifted, but they're just a little bit different in sort of the teams that would draft them and sort of how you would deploy them. But so that's I think my answer to that question is he'd be right there with Sonny Styles, even though they're a little bit different players. So,
all right, the next one from Trinidaddy, Matt. He said, for Connor, start bench cut, Jericho Cotchery, Braylon Edwards, Santonio Holmes. So I'll answer this by
I'll answer your question with another question.
Longevity, rather than I'm starting them at the height of their powers.
Okay.
Cotchery is the start. He's the fan favorite of the three. Just on the team for a really long time. Had some crazy big moments. Just the steady presence that the Jets always lack. I will bench Santonio because while Santonio got a little explosive at the end in terms of some fighting on the field, and he won them so many games in 2010. He just walked off 3 games. He had a touchdown against the Patriots when they beat them in Foxborough in the playoffs. Braylon was awesome. It's tough to say cut Braylon, but Braylon, it was just so quick that he was here.
Yeah.
He wasn't on the Jets very long, but he was very impactful for the Jets.
It's fair. Justin, $5 super chat. What's good, guys? Glad I was able to catch a live show. We are as well. Big fan of you both. I got to say, though, I like the funny one more than the hot one. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like the mystery in that question.
Oh, I thought I was the funny one.
I don't know what the answer is. I'm definitely not funny. I'm the one that's laughing at the things that happen on this show.
Aiden,
what a
$5 super
chat.
What's up? Pocket Pavias. That's a new one. I know this is an LB episode, but have you guys watched Gators cornerback Devin Moore? He's a stud. I went to high school with. Shout out NHS. I have not watched Devin Moore. I know I've watched a lot of Florida games live, but to be honest with you guys, I was spite watching a lot of Florida games this year. Wasn't really paying attention. Was more frustrated about everything that was going on the offensive side of things. But right. I know a lot of people really like Devin Moore, so we got to get to cornerbacks, and obviously I think that we'll get to him in our rankings wherever that ends up being. Oh, this next one's for me. Trinidaddy, $10 super chat for Trevor. Start, bench, cut. Warren Sapp, Rondé Barber, God. Garrett Brooks. No.
Not doing it. Are you starting Derek Brooks?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah,
I think right. That's,
Yeah.
My brain went like, how do you not start?
No,
Derek Brooks?
there's no other option. And then it just comes down to Warren Sapp's one of the best defensive players to ever play the game. But I think
at the height of his powers, he's just unstoppable.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of the greatest defensive players to ever play the game. But I would bench Rondé and then I would cut Warren Sapp simply because I'll sort of give the same political answer that you did with the Jets. Derek and Rondé played their entire careers in Tampa Bay.
Right.
They played their entire Hall of Fame careers in Tampa Bay, and Warren Sapp did not. So I'll just let that be my political answer there as I answer that one there.
Davis Allen and Joyer. Bigger
Nice.
Vrabel guy, J-Rod, Akis, or Dunker. I will say
Akis.
it's Akis is the best player and fit.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's hard not to say J-Rod a little bit.
Yeah. Our game plan of the week presented by Western and Southern Financial Group, a game plan to your financial future. Something that I found when I was going through a lot of the data for our preview show for the Super Bowl is that the Seattle Seahawks, specifically running to the left side of the offensive line, love to run those pull lead plays where they're getting their offensive linemen out and into space. Why, you ask? Because Gray Zabel happens to play on the left side of the line of scrimmage. They are maximizing who he is as an athlete, blocking in space, getting to the sideline, and that is their highest run blocking concept as a team because of Gray Zabel. I think that leaning into that a handful of times against New England Patriots is a great way to switch up when they like to run. They like to run power mostly between the tackles, but having that sort of a player to be a lead blocker for you out towards the sideline, that's pretty advantageous and a good game plan to lean on. Just like every team wins starts with a great game plan, your future should as well. With life insurance built like a championship roster, Western and Southern helps protect you and your family so you can focus on winning today knowing that tomorrow is covered. Whether you're just starting out, building your dynasty, or looking to lock in long-term protection, their coverage options are designed to match your game plan. Visit westernsouthern.com/PFF to get your free life quote and start building your financial game plan today. Western and Southern, built to win, backed by over 130 years of helping people protect what matters most. Hammer, $20 Super Chat. Wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on Will Howard coming out of the draft last year and his chances of starting in Pittsburgh. I didn't follow his draft stock, but I was shocked that he was a 6th-round pick last year. As was I, Hammer.
Me too.
I had Will Howard QB4 in last year's draft. I would have very comfortably taken Will Howard in the 4th round, would have even potentially thought about him in the 3rd. And I think that this is also me calling out me here. I don't do a good enough job of, when we talk about the Pittsburgh quarterback situation and job, factoring in Will Howard, because I legitimately think that he could start this year for them. I do.
I had him at QB6 with a 4th-round grade.
There you go.
So I liked him more than how the league viewed him as well. Also, one of my favorite combine interviews. That dude he's just a dude, man. Really smart, good guy.
Jack, $5 Super Chat. Is Hill Jr. not another Devin White type of prospect? No, I think that Hill Jr. isn't. I don't know. I think that White's different because, like, he's not shy of being physical. I think that if there's a Devin White comp of the guys that we just listed, it's actually Josiah Trotter would potentially be that, because White can look really lost in coverage, and that's the same thing with Trotter. Hill also I wish was better in coverage, but he doesn't struggle the same way that Devin White struggles, and then I also don't think that he's as physical as Devin White is, so I wouldn't say that that's the comp there. Tony Lee, $5 Super Chat. Any chance CJ Allen makes to 33?
Good chance.
Talked about that a little bit. I do think that there is somewhat of a chance there. Benjamin, $20 Super Chat. We appreciate you, Benjamin. Good evening, gentlemen. Just wanted to combat some disinformation that's gotten out of hand here. Trev always washes his hands. Thank you. Trevor is not short. Thank you. Alfred Collins is no longer on the board. I don't know about that one. Thank you all for all that you do. Appreciate you, Benjamin. Thank you, man.
Hamuzi, thank you for the $2 Super Chat. What do you think of D'Angelo Ponce for the Eagles? Love the player. Just don't know if they're going to take a corner that size because they need outside corner help, to me.
Right.
Beach, thank you for the $2 Super Chat. Thoughts on Eric Hunter from Morgan State? I haven't watched Eric Hunter yet, but I appreciate the shout because I'll get to him. Optimistic Giants Leafs fan. Always appreciate this account. I believe that's John Harbaugh in a Leafs jersey.
It is. Yes,
it is.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Will Nagy's RPO-heavy offense suit my Giants, or should I return to being a sad Giants and Leafs fan? The Leafs suck. I do not love this hire. I want to just put all my faith in Harbaugh because he's an excellent CEO, head coach, and maybe Nagy will be a good fit with Jackson Dart. But I think it's just I'm in the phase of like, man, I really wish they could have got Todd Monken, and they obviously couldn't have. And I don't know if this was the pivot. Time will tell.
I don't hate it. Honestly,
It's uninspiring, but it's not a disaster.
Of the options that were left, I don't really hate it. I think as long as you're running an RPO and then vertical passing offense on top of RPO concepts, I think that Jackson Dart can thrive into it. I really do. Jonah, $5 super chat. Had ACL revision, second on the same knee today, and wanted to give you guys a shout out for the post-op entertainment. Jonathan Brooks, RB1. Amen. Amen. Jonah's comp is Jonathan Brooks.
That's right.
Jonah, I hope that
both of you.
Yeah, I hope that your recovery is a smooth one, my friend. I know that that's tough going through that once, let alone to do that twice. So just hope it's a speedy recovery for you. No more surgeries from here on out. All right. 6 Nixus, $5 super chat. Who's in your Mount Rushmore of guys that the dudes can literally just sit around and name old sports players and have the best time combo? I think the answers to this requires more time than we have.
Yeah, we could do this for an hour. I mean, I always say Steven Jackson, the running back on the Rams, is like that guy for me.
That is a good one.
Like, he just aesthetically one of the most, like, best aesthetically, like, stylistically runners ever.
Peerless Price.
Oh, man. See, we're going to do it, and we can't.
Adam Archuleta.
Oh, there you go. The legend in the CBS booth.
Yeah, true. That's very true.
Yeah, man, long post-playing career.
Who's another one? Seneca Wallace, Madden legend.
Stevie Johnson, Bills wide receiver.
Thomas Jones, the running back.
Oh, I love Thomas Jones. All arms team.
Jet great.
And Jet Buck. Great. Right?
Amen. Amen.
And was. Bears.
Yeah, 100%.
Guy had a great career, like in 3 different places where he was awesome. Nick
Lorenzo Neal. That's the last one.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead.
Am I crazy? I've graded players since 21. Styles is the only blue chip I have in this class. Unbelievable processing, elite athlete, and downhill attacker. The rare laps in coverage, I guess. What boxes need check? That was basically our combo with Sonny Styles. I know that, Nick, I saw you write this in before we talked about him. So hopefully we give you the answers. We're eye to eye with you. He is – I don't know if he's the only blue chip player in this class, but he is a blue chip player in this class.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the only, but again, the only part of his game that I think is lacking, and it might just be from lack of reps because they didn't really ask him to do this a lot, is like that true deep spot drop shuffling zone coverage. But Ohio State just didn't really ask him to do it. So there's no reason to say like, oh, he definitively can't. We just didn't see it a lot from him. So that's about it. Love and Life, $2 super chat. Start bench cut, Super Bowl food. Super Bowl food specifically. Wings, pizza, nachos.
Starting wings, easy.
Yep.
Bench pizza and cut nachos.
Agreed. Nachos is just at a Super Bowl party, especially if you're at somebody else's house.
Too many hands.
It gets a little dirty. It gets a little dirty, and then you don't want to have dirty hands everywhere. Yeah, I just I know. Ironic that I'm saying that, guys. Right? Yeah, real funny. Crispy,
you set yourself up for that one.
Crispy super chat, $2. Appreciate you. No message. DG, $2 super chat. Start bench cut, deadlift, back squat, barbell overhead press.
Interesting, going with the overhead press over the bench press.
I'll start deadlifting.
Me too.
If you have the correct form, I think it can be an absolutely fantastic lift for just overall body power, muscle density, everything. The deadlift is great. I'm gonna bench.
The hex deadlift is goated.
It is. I'm gonna bench barbell overhead press because I think it's a really good way to overload just your shoulders as a whole. And then I'm going to cut back squats because I don't even back squat anymore. I've hurt my lower back so many times, I don't even do it. I front squat, and that's about it. But even beyond that, man, I'm a Bulgarian split squat guy with dumbbells, and that's about it. So
yeah, I see eye to eye with you on that one. Once you get into your 30s, back squats are just not as fun as they were in your young 20s.
They are not.
There's 80 million substitutes for it.
Crispy $2 super chat, start bench cut. Chase Young, Jeff Okudah, Isaiah Simmons. Oh, what ifs? What ifs? Oh, Chase Young's kind of like he's coming along.
Yeah, but he should have been.
I know, but he's coming along.
I'll start Chase Young.
Yeah, same.
I will bench Okudah because Okudah, I think, and then I think Isaiah Simmons just wasn't good.
Yes, correct.
I think Okudah and Chase Young, there's injury-related reasons. I just don't think Isaiah Simmons was ever good.
I think the what if with Isaiah Simmons was more unrealistic than necessarily
right.
What if. Anthony, $5 super chat. Connor was lower on Trayvon Walker, and he was right.
Thank you, Anthony, but I'll balance this out. Trayvon Walker's a good player. I think he's a really good player. My problem with Trayvon Walker, and I forget where I had him, was that he wasn't a number one pick to me.
Yeah. It's fair.
And Hutchinson's better.
I had Walker.
But he's a good player.
Yeah, I had Walker like 13th or something that year.
I think I had him 18th.
Yeah.
So I might have even ended up being a little too low. I'd have to look back at the full class, but
I would agree. Yeah. H-Lou Football, $10 super chat. What's good, fellas? Trevor, appreciate you taking the time to talk to me in Mobile. Interested to get you guys' opinions on the Niners at 27 and what wide receiver should be the best fit with Shanahan. Well, it was great to meet you in Mobile. It was great to meet everybody, all the addicts that we had the chance to get to meet when we were in Mobile. We appreciate you guys coming and saying hello. What wide receiver would be the best fit for Shanahan? I'll be honest, the easy answer is Concepcion, right? And I think that's a good answer. I think Denzel Boston would also be sick for this team. And I don't think enough people talk about like how good Denzel Boston could potentially be with the Niners, just because of how versatile he is, how he can win from the slot, how he wins outside the numbers. He's a contested catch guy, but he gives you a little bit of suddenness and smoothness in his routes as well. Like, I think both of those wide receivers could be good for Shanahan at 27.
And we also matched Kenyon Sadiq to that team a lot, who's a tight end, but a pass catcher.
Yep.
So I got to roll here in a couple of minutes, so I'll kind of power through a couple of last ones.
We
Dylan,
only got a couple more.
Thank you for the $5 super chat. Is there any scare with Sonny Styles being Isaiah Simmons comp with position change? No, because he's played linebacker. Trevor kind of broke that down in depth during Styles' breakdown. Delusional Vikings fan, Harold Perkins insight, Vikings fits at linebacker. We talked about Harold Perkins. I just don't think he's an NFL linebacker. He's had bad injuries. And I liked, Trevor, that you pointed out, like, there's still a high floor for him as a special teamer, but it's just hard to really see his fit as an NFL backer. But is he dynamic enough to switch positions? I don't see that either. It's kind of been a fall from grace for a guy that looked so promising once upon a time.
Yeah, I mean, towards ACL. So anytime you do that, it's obviously tough to get back to form athletically.
But he also then couldn't settle into like the right kind of spot for himself.
Well, because he's 220, he can't play edge, and that's where they played him his freshman year, and he looked great. So it's kind of tough. He kind of just needs to be an attacking player, and that's about it. Fits for the Vikings, though. I think Jake Golday would make a lot of sense for them, just getting a little bit of extra length there at the second level. Andoy, $99 super chat, but it's a different currency. I don't know what it is. I'm just going to say this is a $99 super chat. Todd Bowles still not hiring a DC. Any thoughts? Nope. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know who the DC is going to be. I think this year's going to be a journey. Justin, $2 super chat. Why does Connor's shirt match Trevor's wall? It's good inspiration there. Yeah, actually, that's pretty close. I carved
this shirt out of Trevor's wall.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Preston, $2 super chat. Start bench cut. Elway, Marino, Mahomes.
Oh, my God.
I'm starting.
You know what's funny?
I'm starting Marino.
Me too, and he's the one that didn't win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm starting Marino. I'm benching Mahomes. I'm cutting Elway.
I'm with you on that, but man, that's tough to have to cut John Elway. Coda PG.
I just ate at his steakhouse in Denver when we were there.
You're never allowed back.
I know, it's tough. It was a good steakhouse, though. Shout out John Elway.
Coda PG, do you see Styles as a fit on Minter's scheme?
Yes.
Styles can play
basically anything.
In almost any scheme.
Yes, you can. Bryce, $5 super chat. Just happy the Packers are going from the main wheel. RIP San Diego Superchargers, Qualcomm Stadium forever. Qualcomm Stadium will always have a soft spot. I will always have a soft spot in my heart for Qualcomm Stadium. That's the way I wanted to say that phrase. Because that is the stadium where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won their first Super Bowl back in 2002, 2003. So I agree. RIP to that stadium. A wonderful stadium. The best, some would say. Let's see. D-Sauter, $5 super chat. I'll donate $50 if you land on the Ravens and max randomness scale on the MDS. So we land Ruben Bain. Well, we didn't get you guys Ruben Bain, but hopefully you did enjoy the Ravens mock draft that we did here on this show. Bryce, again, $5 super chat. One of the sections of the evil wheel is that Trevor has to do a full stream standing up. Hashtag Short Kings Matter. Funny enough, I actually do have a standing desk that I'm at right now. And I've thought about doing shows before standing up. The only thing is that we don't get the accessories in the background here. We would just get, the wood panels that we got behind me. But maybe for the next episode, I'll actually do it standing up. James, $5 super chat. Does Baltimore have the offense to utilize Sadiq? Andrew's getting old, likely as a similar player going to free agency. Nice fit for Lamar. I don't know if they would consider him at 14. I think he would fit, depending on the exact offense that they want to run, which, it's not Todd Monken who's there anymore. It's not John Harbaugh who's there anymore. It's a totally new staff other than Jesse Minter. But I think Sadiq would fit from a heavy personnel standpoint if they want to continue to lean into that, which I think could very well be a possibility. I don't think it's out of the question. Most likely, I don't know if I would say that, but I don't think it's out of the question. I do think that he would fit with what the Ravens could want to do. Eli, $5 super chat. Was a pleasure to meet you and the chef at the Senior Bowl. It's great meeting you as well, Eli. Appreciate you coming to say hello. The NFLSE Uncrustable is still fueling me. Which defensive tackle should the Packers draft on day 2? We've done some mock drafts on the Packers before, and if Lee Hunter makes it to them, I like him as an option there at defensive tackle. Caleb Banks, certainly, if he is there as well, if he makes it to, I think they pick 45, if I remember correctly. And then, let's see. I think defensive tackle, I have no idea why my internet has been so slow today. Those are the two that immediately come to my mind. I'm trying to think of some other ones that might make sense. Because, then you get into, Caden McDonald, I think, is going to be gone. But then you get into Dominique Orange, Dante Corleone. But I think those guys are more like day 3 guys. So those are the two second-round players that I would consider for the Packers. But then if you're looking in round 3, I think, again, you start talking about Corleone and Dominique Orange, big citrus. Tater's World, $5 super chat. If the Chiefs trade McDuffie, who's the trade partners and what do they get? I'm thinking Washington, Tennessee, and a second plus a third or a fourth. Yeah, I mean, if McDuffie is getting traded, I think it's at least it is. I think it's a second plus. I didn't even know that would really be on the table. I wouldn't really think that they would get rid of McDuffie. McDuffie's so versatile for them to play outside and inside, and especially with Steve Spagnuolo still there. I don't know. I would have a hard time feeling like they would feel better about the return that they're getting rather than just keeping McDuffie. But yeah, I don't think you get a first for him, but like a second and something else. I think some team would at least give you a second and a fourth, maybe a second and a third. I feel like that's trade values all over the place, obviously, but I feel like that's where the conversation would start. Tater's World, $2 super chat. The evil wheel is huge. I told you. Tater understands. Parkour, $5 super chat. G'day, Pounders and Gents, Rogers and Sikkema, and Shrekema. Shrekema. That's the first one. That's new. That's the first I've heard of that one. I've noticed in interior defensive line, short arm length isn't a stock killer. Is there a reasoning behind it? Yes, because oftentimes you're going up against offensive linemen that also have shorter arms, where guards, centers, the guys that you're going up against, they're not typically these guys with super long arms. So you also have the ability to make contact very quickly. So if you get out of your stance, if you're in a head-up stance right above the guard or the center, if you're getting out of your stance really quickly, you can get your hands up and inside on those guards and centers. Whereas when you are an offensive tackle going up against an edge rusher, or really I should have said that the other way around, an edge rusher going up against an offensive tackle, especially in pass protection, there's almost always a couple of steps where offensive tackles can get their hands and their arms up to, if they have longer arms, really mitigate and be able to make first contact against you. So it really is just you have more of an ability to mitigate short arms when you're playing on the interior, whether that's the guys that you were going up against or just the style of being head up right in front of them and being able to get your hands up a little bit faster. Super Pony, $5 super chat. Severely depressed, apathetic Colts fan coming out of hibernation here to ask why Chris Ballard still has a job. I'm very, very shocked that Chris Ballard was given another year. Not sure. I like Chris Ballard and I like what he has to say about, how he approaches the draft, all that kinds of stuff. But for as all in as they went this past season, this offseason, well, not offseason, during the season, and then for it to all come crashing down, there are just so very few general managers that would have survived that. But hey, he did. Brad, $8.99 super chat. If the Bengals focused other defensive areas and trusted the development of Murphy, MVP and Defensive Player of the Year candidate, of course, and Stewart, would that be a mistake? No, I don't think so. And I think that you probably have to do that. Like, I think that the Bengals are at the point where you kind of made your bet with those two guys. And you have other holes on the roster where, unless it's a very obvious best player available happens to be an edge rusher that is there for you, I think that it's more likely that you just have to go, we drafted these guys and they just simply have to play better. Frederico, $10 super chat. Do you see shades of Aaron Donald in Peter Woods? Because I've seen many others mock him to us at number 19. That's for the Carolina Panthers. That comp is the only way that I'm okay with that pick. I will never compare anybody to Aaron Donald. Ever. One of the greatest football players to ever play the game, regardless of era. And you see flashes with Peter Woods, but he's nowhere near the pass rusher, even in the two better years that he had as a freshman or a sophomore. He's nowhere near the player that Aaron Donald was. I still think he could be a good pick for the Panthers at number 19, but no, he's nowhere near what Aaron Donald was. Josh, $10 super chat. Now that you fixed my Colts, give me the special teams episode, My Tall, Handsome Kings. That was a space on the evil wheel at one point. So we might have to bring that back. For the next Wheel of Mock Draft episodes, perhaps Tyler will throw that one back in there. Very, very excited for what we have coming for you next week. We'll see you guys then.